Folks, we literally just got off the air 3-4 minutes ago on Jay Secchio Live, and right when we were off the air, there is breaking news. And talk about an October surprise. The FBI has reopened the investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of her private email server and the transmission of classified information. Breaking now in a letter from Jim Comey, the director of the FBI, to Congressman Jason Chaffetz, who is the chairman of the House Government Reform and Oversight Committee that has held all those hearings, been very critical of Director Comey at the FBI for the way the FBI has handled this investigation and the way that they laid out the case against Hillary Clinton and then said, but don't prosecute her. This is breaking news today, Friday, that the FBI has just reopened. It came out literally at noon Eastern time, I believe, or 1 o'clock Eastern time. It is now 1:16 Eastern time on my watch here, that the FBI has reopened. For all of you just joining now, this is a live broadcast again, reopened the investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and the transmission of classified information. Here's what Congressman Jason Chaffetz tweeted. I'm reading it right off my iPhone. FBI director just informed me, quote, the FBI has learned of the existence of emails that appear to be pertinent to the investigation. Case reopened. That is Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Let me read for you the letter, then I'm going to get comments from Logan and Than Bennett, our Director of Government Affairs. We're just restarting a broadcast. Just to quickly update you here, we'll get more up at aclj.org later today. Folks, here is the letter from the U.S. Department of Justice. Remember, the FBI is part of that. And the Federal Bureau of Investigation from Director Jim Comey. This is to the chairman of the Intelligence Committee in the U.S. Senate, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate, the chairman of Appropriations in the Senate, the chairman of Homeland Security in the Senate, the chairman of the Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence in the House, and, of course, Congressman Chaffetz as well, who is the committee on the chairman of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. This is the letter, folks, from Jim Comey to Congressman. Again, this is to Congressman Jason Chaffetz. Let me read it for you today. It's dated October 28, 2016. There you see the subject line. And folks, this is unbelievable that the FBI, because this had to be okayed by Attorney General Lynch. It means the pressure has been so high. Remember our petition to call for the impeachment of Jim Comey? The election is very close. And here's why. Remember we kept thinking that these FBI officials have cast their lot with Hillary Clinton? And that may have been the politically expedient decision maybe a few weeks ago when the polls were looking pretty good for her. Now the race is tightening back up. It looks like with the Obamacare, the premiums going up, and suddenly they've now shifted. This may be Jim Comey protecting himself. This may be a distraction from holding who's going to be held accountable. Because honestly, I think if Donald Trump became president, Jim Comey and people like that may end up in prison. Honestly. Their careers would certainly be over, whether in government or the private sector. But if Hillary Clinton was in office, maybe not. But now we've got this letter. I want to break this again for everybody. I think we've got a lot of new people joining us. Let me recap this. The FBI is reopening their investigation of Hillary Clinton's private email server and the transmission of classified information. I am reading the letter for you now. October 28, 2016, today. This just released about 10 minutes ago, right after we got off the radio broadcast, but we wanted to tell all of our Facebook and Periscope audience for you. This is a letter to a number of chairs of different committees in the House and the Senate, but specifically it's Congressman Jason Chaffetz, who oversees the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. That's the one that holds all those hearings about the FBI's investigation. They've been very tough on Jim Comey. Here's the letter, October 28th. Dear Chairman, in previous congressional testimony, I referred to the fact that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, had completed its investigation of former Secretary Clinton's personal email server. Due to recent developments, I am writing to supplement my previous testimony. In connection with an unrelated case, the FBI has learned of the existence of emails that appear to be pertinent to the investigation. I am writing to inform you that the investigative team briefed me on this yesterday, and I agreed that the FBI should take appropriate investigative steps designed to allow investigators to review these emails to determine whether they contain classified information, as well as to assess their importance to our investigation. Although the FBI cannot yet assess whether or not this material may be significant, and I cannot predict how long it will take us to complete this additional work, I believe it is important to update your committees about our efforts in light of our previous testimony. Sincerely yours, James B. Comey, Director, FBI. Here's the letter, folks. Again, if you're just joining us, the FBI, talk about a real October surprise, has reopened its investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server and potentially illegal transmission, what we believe is illegal, transmission of classified information. The pressure has been very high on Jim Comey. We've called for his impeachment even. And this is someone in the past that had a good reputation. The people have turned on him from both the right and the left. Honest observers have turned on the FBI. And internally at the FBI, there were leaks all over the place.
That's right.
Let me go, Logan, first, your reaction here. When we saw the news, I thought it was like a replayed video of something when this investigation first started.
It's the second one off the air.
Here we go.
I thought this comment, like you said, I wasn't sure if our audience would understand the importance of this situation, of what's happening right now, because it is such a breaking news item. It sounds like something we've said before. FBI, emails, yada, yada. 11,000 of you are joining us right now live on Facebook. That's double that we're watching the live radio show broadcast. I'm pretty sure you understand the importance of how big this is. We are seeing comments flood in. Obviously, some skepticism that we're just going to be led down the same trails we were before.
Let me
but
say this.
It doesn't matter right now. This is huge news.
Right now, all that matters, politically speaking, okay, this investigation is not going to be over in a week, probably. And even if it is, guess who this damages? May be fatal. This may be the fatal blow to Hillary Clinton. It might be. She is now under FBI investigation again, and her staff. They are going to be serious. They're, again, under serious scrutiny. They're supposed to be focused on the election right now, and now they're going to be worried about whether or not they're going to go to jail. This is again, folks, we don't know how this will turn out. Maybe the FBI will do the same thing again. But all that really matters at this moment is people are really heading to the polls, because really how this affects is who's the next commander-in-chief of our country. Is that Hillary Clinton is back under FBI investigation, and Donald Trump can use that every day now throughout this campaign. Let me go to Than Bennett, our director of government affairs in Washington, because Than, you're one of those folks that still believes that it should not be Director Comey in charge of this new reopened investigation of Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's impossible to overstate the political significance of this. But yes, I mean, I think what Logan brought up needs to be the first question that Chairman Chaffetz and others ask. First of all, there are two people at the FBI that absolutely must not be in charge of this reopened investigation. The first one is Director Comey because of his behavior the last time the investigation was open. And Jordan, the second one is the one we just talked about on the live broadcast, Andrew McCabe, the number 2 at the FBI. He must not be involved this time as well. Clearly, he is tainted. Director Comey needs to come out and give this to someone else. And I would throw one other name out there who should be asked about this right now. Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Will she stand by her previous promise to follow through on whatever recommendation the FBI makes if this investigation is handed to somebody other than Director Comey and Andrew McCabe? Will she stand by that promise to follow the recommendation of the FBI?
Obviously, folks, there's a lot of things that can happen here. Politically speaking, at this point, I do believe personally that as tough as this campaign has gotten for Donald Trump on some points, and Hillary Clinton's gotten a pass on things like these issues, that unless Jim Comey walks this back in the next hour or two today, and he might try and say, that's not really what I meant, but I mean, I don't think Jason Chaffetz would. Listen, we read the actual letter. I'm going to read it for you again. It's a reopened investigation. Like that or not, depending on who you're supporting, the FBI is now again investigating Hillary Clinton and her staff for criminal activities and potential criminal activities. The FBI doesn't investigate for civil matters or for misdemeanors. They investigate for crime, and they're reopening it based off new info. This info may have been through WikiLeaks. It may have been through, and again, the FBI wouldn't have used the WikiLeaks part. They would have gone through the normal process because they don't want to use tainted, it's called fruit of the poisonous tree, evidence. So that may be why it took a little longer. They were under serious pressure. I want to thank everybody who signed our petition because Jim Comey needed to feel that pressure. He still needs to feel that pressure to do the right thing. And that means it's reaching DOJ and ultimately even President Obama. who they could not withstand the pressure. I think it was also coming from within the agency itself. And what they didn't need was a lot of FBI whistleblowers. So they've reopened this investigation. Unless something significant changed with this in the next couple of hours, this may be the fatal blow. I don't know if Hillary Clinton can survive this for a week and a half of being under criminal investigation once again. I think people kind of had enough of that with the Clintons. We will see. Let me restate this one more time for everybody who's just joining us.
Yeah, we've gone from,
again, we'll go back to the news.
6,000 people. Right now, we're almost at 15,000 people watching on Facebook. Thank you, guys. Make sure when this is over,
share it.
Share it.
Yeah, you need to share this.
This is breaking throughout the day. Over 15,000.
Not much of this yet in print media. Some on Twitter, some on cable news. But remember, you got a lot of friends and family who aren't watching the TV, who aren't on their Twitter, but check their Facebook, even at work. And you want to share this video. Very important. Here it is. One more time for everybody, very clear. Breaking news. The FBI has announced that it's reopened the investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and the transmission of classified information that is potentially criminal. All right, so that's the news. Jason Chaffetz, who is the chairman of the House Government Reform and Oversight Committee, has announced on Twitter first that the FBI director, that's Jim Comey, just informed me, quote, the FBI has learned of the existence of emails that appear to be pertinent to the investigation. Case against Hillary Clinton and her staff reopened. Here's the letter, okay? This is FBI letterhead. It says U.S. Department of Justice, then Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's dated today, October 28, 2016. And you see all the committee chairs. These are all the pertinent committees in the Senate and the House of Representatives. Here's the letter. I'm going to read it for you. We'll close out today. I just wanted to give you this breaking news
17,000 people
update.
watching right now.
Dear Mr. Chairman, in previous congressional testimony, now this is from Jim Comey, director of the FBI, I referred to the fact that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, had completed its investigation of former Secretary Clinton's personal email server. Due to recent developments, I am writing to supplement my previous testimony. In connection with an unrelated case, the FBI has learned of the existence of emails that appear to be pertinent to the investigation. I am writing to inform you that the investigative team briefed me on this yesterday, and I agreed that the FBI should take appropriate investigative steps designed to allow investigators to review these emails to determine whether they contain classified information, as well as to assess their importance to our investigation. Although the FBI cannot yet assess whether or not this material may be significant, and I cannot predict how long it will take us to complete this additional work, I believe it is important to update your committees about our efforts in light of my previous testimony. Signed, sincerely yours, James B. Comey, Director, FBI. Breaking news once again, folks. Hillary Clinton under FBI investigation once again. The case against Hillary Clinton, her email server, and the transmission of potentially classified information has been reopened. Logan, that we've given people the news. We wanted to share it with their friends and family.
Absolutely share this with your friends. And maybe we should go back to Than one more time to kind of restate his thoughts, because a lot of people are commenting, well, this is Comey, this is going to be the same thing again. So maybe let's hit back to Than one more time before we wrap this up, because right now 20,000 of you are joining us on Facebook alone, over 1,000 on Periscope, which I know it pales in comparison, but it's a much smaller platform.
Folks,
so the people obviously are taking this for real as something that's big, and it's breaking right now.
Let me say about Jim Comey, he's feeling the pressure. We called for his impeachment. Hundreds of thousands of you have joined that. The Congress is going after him. They said they're going to continue to go after him. He's someone that's supposed to serve, additional six years. He doesn't get appointed, doesn't just serve at the pleasure of the president. This is someone who himself, I think, is concerned that his own FBI was turning against him and the American people. So whether or not this investigation, this new reopening of the investigation leads to prosecutions or not, I'm not sure that they could finish it up within a week. But even if they did, that is a week that now Hillary Clinton, the whole campaign is going to be focused on the fact that she's back under FBI investigation. Dan, let's go to you on this and get your comment from Washington, D.C.
Well, the first critical point is the one you just made, that the engagement of the American people and our members really works, Jordan, because, listen, this is such a dramatic step for Director Comey to back away from a position he had really entrenched himself in, that this investigation was thorough, that it was closed, that his recommendation was made, and the Attorney General's decision was final. This is a dramatic move. However, our work really ratchets up this afternoon. I mean, when we get off this live broadcast here, I'm going to get on the phone with Capitol Hill, and our recommendation to them is going to be that they say to the director, great, we're glad you're looking at these emails, but the American people have to have confidence in this investigation, and that will only happen if you are not in charge of it and if Andrew McCabe is not in charge of it. This has to go to someone else at the FBI. Now, beyond that, we also think the Attorney General should be asked if she reiterates her commitment to follow the direction or the recommendation of the FBI. But the first point here, this afternoon even, is who is handling this at the FBI? If the final say is going to be the Director Comey's, that's not good enough, Jordan.
Listen, we spent an entire radio broadcast today talking about how the Deputy Director of the FBI's wife received nearly $500,000 directly from a PAC Hillary Clinton was fundraising for her state Senate campaign, and then her husband gets that promotion to number 2. So I think Than brings up two issues where Congressman Chaffetz could certainly, and the members of Congress, and we as Americans need to push and focus on, is that the top officials of the FBI may need to recuse them. They should recuse themselves here because of they have tainted the investigation. Jim Comey has, so has Deputy Director Andrew McCabe. At the same time, let me just break it down again. Here's the letter from the FBI to Congress. Hillary Clinton, let me just state it so everybody's clear as just joining us now. Yep. The FBI has reopened its investigation into Hillary Clinton. That is an investigation into criminal conduct, potential criminal conduct by her and her staff because of her private email server lying about it, who was involved with it, and the classified information that may have been held on it. This is breaking news. We will continue to update you on aclj.org. Please share this. Click share right now with your friends and family. Make sure they're getting the news from the right source.
Yeah, and make sure also, because this is our biggest online broadcast ever right now, at over 23,000 people joining us on Facebook alone, not including Periscope. Huge numbers. And what it tells me is that all of you understand how important this is. And I was concerned that maybe our audience wouldn't understand just from the headline how big of a deal this is. What I want you to do right now, not only share, but subscribe to this page, because each time we go live, you'll get a notification. We go live Monday through Friday from, if you're in Eastern time, noon to 1, we do a live radio show broadcast, and a lot of people probably first now seeing us because this has been shared so many times. Join us each and every day as we break down the news, and we go live in instances like this where we just can't be silent and we have to be heard again. Thank you all so much for joining us. Also visit aclj.org.
Please click share right now on your Facebook account or Periscope. Share this with your friends and family. It's breaking on cable news. It's breaking on Twitter. It's going to take a little bit for the print stories to come out. So share it now and make sure. I want everybody to know this is Friday. It's October 28th. It is 1:32 p.m. Eastern time. This is not a replay. Breaking news. The FBI has reopened its investigation into Hillary Clinton's potential criminal conduct with her email server and classified information. If we get more information, we may go live again later today. We will keep you updated. Go to aclj.org and share this now with your friends and family. We'll talk to you later.